Hey everyone, let's have a look underneath a Prado. There's a few things to look at here. We've got a rock armor bull bar that people might want to have a look at in case they're contemplating buying one. We've got some tyres here with a big rock stuck in them. They actually quite like the look of these. Geolander XATs again. There you go, see? A few people have got these they're happy and they reckon they're a bit noisy. Anyway, that's my rock, I'm keeping it. We'll have a bit of a look around. It's done a bit over 100,000 Ks. It's a 1GD engine, looks a bit different. We don't do too many of these. We're not servicing it. We're doing a few service works as requested by the client. Some diff oils, transmission flush, which happens to be quite clean, so it's not going to take a stupid amount of oil. And it's got some Dobinsons, and I just want to say, this is good, but a bit unfortunate they didn't get the monotubes right, if you know what I mean, because they are far superior for a little bit extra in the cost. So I have not sold a set of these, I reckon, for 5 years. That's how much it is, right? So, you know, we used to do this stuff. It was good value for money. It was a lot cheaper. They came out with the monotubes, always new things I'm cautious of. First thing I did after a few years was put them in my cars, friends' cars, close customers' cars, and built it up from there. Now we've sold hundreds and thousands of monotubes, never had a problem with one of them. Bloody unbelievable, isn't it? But I'll be quite honest with you, first front coil spring ever out of these thousands of kits I've sold, had a broken spring, just from a kit supplied in 2022. We're investigating the possible causes of that, but it is super rare. I have spoken to the masters, and I just think it's crazy, like that I'm lucky that to have it on one of my customers' cars. So that was a 2022 kit. If you're wondering what the warranty is, springs aren't meant to break. So in my book, it's a lifetime warranty. So same day, I said, I've actually got them in stock. That spring was in the car the same day. Customer's happy. There's a bit more detail than that, but we'll just leave it at that because it sounds good, right? Don't expect that. I don't usually going to have the things you need in stock, so I don't expect that. It was a bit of a special case. Got lucky. This has got 352s. You can see the numbers now printed on the coil instead of on the tags that fall off. But look, it would have been good to get the monotubes in there. I mean, these are okay, but just the monotubes, far superior for a little bit more money. So that's your latest update on the suspension information. This video, it's going to be about 10 minutes. So we've got about, I don't know, 7.5 minutes to go. And we're going to be looking at the most important things on. I think it's a 2000, is this a 2019? Do you remember? I think it is anyway. I think it's a 19. So it's got the rock armor bull bar. Nice big rock armor bull bar. Just have a bit of a look around to see what you like, what you don't like. I'm not going to tell you if I like it or not. Right, I'm just showing you stuff and you can just have a look. Nice big winch plate section underneath the bottom, which is quite protective to the winch, but the winch is pretty tough and it's leaving this condenser that's in front of the radiator and the intercooler a bit exposed, isn't it? So something, but then again, the bash plates would cover that. So my mistake, disregard those comments, because the bash plates he's removed for our inspection, and you can see they will bolt up here, and you can see there's a hole there and there, which would cover all that up. So it's not exposed. So good for an inspection, good for cleaning while they're off. Wash all that stuff out of your radiator and condenser if you've been watching any of those videos ever on our channel. Just looking around to see what we're going to find here. So client watches the videos, probably services it himself. I've never met him before. One of the locals, so it looks like he's done the oil and cleaned that, I reckon. Someone's put the Dobinsons in. You can see the new split pins on the tyre rod ends. It's all good. And I'm just going to have a look around for him to see if there's anything that he needs to look for that he's missed. You know, servicing the vehicle himself, whatever. But being a Prado, this is the thing. I shouldn't tell you this, but bloody, you can kind of get away with this stuff, you know. You can really, well, if you're worried about all that brake fluid, it's just we've done a brake fluid flush. That's what all that is. That's all get cleaned up. Brake fluid you clean with water, in case anyone's not sure. You'll see that on all the wheels here. It's all a bit messy. You clean up. There's different ways to do things. Transmission flush, that's the oil that's coming out at the moment. Just doing an inspection while I let that have a good drain. Straight through pipe from the DPF, which is up there. Oil filter in that kind of messy position. You've got to make sure you give it all a bit of a clean up. Transmission pan that gets hammered by the hot exhaust here. We've talked about that in videos. Another reason why these transmissions run a bit hotter. See, they've got that bit of metal on the side to maybe help sort of deflect a little bit and not deteriorate the rubber gasket that's in between, most likely. See around there, you'll see a gasket. Bit hard to see, really, but that bit above the pan there, I can't even see where I'm holding the camera. Anyway, there's a metal shield there. It's going to help protect from the heat. And I believe there's quite a bit of heat coming off that exhaust to the transmission, maybe, and from the engine being coupled together, and this little sucker running a bit hotter at highway speeds. But Dobinson's doesn't look very old, to be quite honest. Rear brakes about 60 to 80%, let's say. Depends which side of the pad you look at. Yeah, got to check both sides, inside and out, and all that. You got to have a really good look. This is just a quick video inspection, looking around, looking to see if I can see, why is there aftermarket bolts in the fuel tank guard? What's going on there? Both sides. Oh, tow bar, that's right. No, it's all right. Tag, tow bar. So always there's a reason, and you find out what the reason why. Tow bar. Maybe not all tow bars though. Fuel hose is fine on the 150s until further notice. Nothing to see here, no oil leaks here, nothing there, just brake fluid leaking everywhere from us. A little bit of off-road by the looks of the bit of scraping and that, but not too bad. This underneath fuel filter looks like it's long overdue to me. I could be wrong, but that old dirt staining, this one's due every 20,000 Ks, so would have been due at 80, again at 100, again at 120. I don't know when it was done, but it looks like about 60. Anyway, each to their own. You're just going to have the fuel transfer problem if it blocks up. That's all that's really going to happen. Your car's going to be on the side of the road, so don't worry about it too much. The other thing that can happen, it's there to filter the fuel transfer system. So if there's debris from manufacturing on the wrong side of that filter and it goes up the line, it can block up the fuel transfer system. So just beware of that. So if you're going to service your car before you go on a trip or something like people have, give your tanks a good run down low and fill it up and run it down low before the trip still. So do it well before the trip so you can test it out, because things like that do happen. It's rare, but it can happen. So 7 minutes, I've got 3 minutes to go. So there's the bull bar, there's the finish on it. It's kind of quite Chinesium. No, it's not bad actually. It's not a bad look, but I hope the price reflects, you know, it's got the nice rumba in there. That's a nice name, but is it really a good winch? I don't know. I really don't know. You know, just because they flog it on whatever TV shows doesn't mean it's any good, right? Just means it's well sponsored. These tyres, I'd actually like to get a set and give them a go. I reckon next time they're on special for about 230 bucks each, or buy however many and get many free. So it works out, because that's about all they're worth, I reckon. Where are they made? I think these ones are made in Japan. Confirming 0824, so for a little while. There you go, made in Japan. It's good to confirm things, because things do change, right? Bit of wire in the chassis still from putting the bits in for behind for the heavy duty side steps. What brand are they? Is there something on there? I can't even see. What's this? I can't see from where I am. Oh, ROCKARMOUR, they've changed them. Oh no, yeah, because they used to just bolt straight on the side. You didn't have to put that in there. Oh yes, they've changed them a little bit or added something in there, because I don't remember having to do that, but it's been years. I remember these big flat plates bolt straight to the chassis. They've got these crumple zones, you know, which is pretty cool. And I reckon I'm just about out with 8.5 minutes, minute and a half to go. What can I find? I've got to find, I should have looked around the vehicle first, been out on the paddocks, a bit of grass wrapped in the tail shaft, weights. That's all this is, a bit of grass. Could get fiery if you get too much grass up around hot exhaust and stuff. But did you notice your DPF's not actually down here, where people talk about, oh, DPF's and grass? DPF's way up there, so you should be right, mate. Should be right. Front and rear diff oil change. The last vehicle we did today got a new plug because somebody overtimed it and it came chiseled out again. I'll show you that, and let's wrap this one up and we'll catch you in the next one. Nothing to see here, so don't worry too much about your 1GD. Oh, the coolant is down a little bit, so keep it on the coolant level. Always do that on all the vehicles, actually. Here we go. Here's the plug. Have a look. So it was all just butchered up, so we had to do our chisely thing and get it out. It was out in night time. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video. See ya.